Louis. Oromia. Kosa. Huh? I'll make you happy later. Let's start. The 32nd regular session of the Sangguniang Panglungsod hereby called to order, requesting all those in attendance to conduct themselves in due order and propriety. during the time the City Council is in session. May I request Member Valesco to lead us in prayer and Member BP Elago to lead us in the national anthem, panunumpa ng katapatan sa watawat ng Pilipinas and the Zamboanga Hermosa hymn.
Por todo levanta. En el nombre del Padre, del Hijo, del Espíritu Santo. Amén. Dios de todo, te implora kami con usted. Bendicí con estos servidores públicos y guía al mga pensamiento y corazón para servir con usted y al pueblo con honestía, sinceridad y integridad para el bien y el progreso de todo. Amén.
Please raise your right hand. Ako ay Pilipino. Buong katapatang nanunumpa sa watawat ng Pilipinas. Kanyang sambayanan, kalikasan, makatawat ka dyan.
Secretary, please call the roll.
The roll call of members, the Honorable City Vice Mayor Romel Agan,
Here.
the Honorable Miguel Alavar III, the Honorable Albert Atilano Sr., the Honorable Crisanto de la Cruz, the Honorable John Dalipe, the Honorable Aljihan Eding, the Honorable Juan Climaco Elago II, the Honorable Vincent Paul Elago, the Honorable Benjamin Gingona IV, the Honorable Tunku Hanapi, the Honorable Cesar Jimenez,
Present.
the Honorable Joselito Macrojon, the Honorable Lilibeth Nuño, the Honorable Kimaradano Lasso, the Honorable El King Umaga, the Honorable Josephine Pareja, the Honorable Jerry Perez, the Honorable Carrie John Pioc, the Honorable Rogelio Valesco Jr., and the Honorable Jimmy Villaflores. There are 15 members present, Your Honor. There is a quorum.
In the presence of a quorum, Mr. Floor Leader, let's proceed with the agenda.
Item E, Mr. Chairman, is the approval of minutes of the regular session of the August body held on August 22, 2019. I move for its approval, Mr. Chairman.
Seconded by members Dalipe, De La Cruz, Vipelago. Any objection? The chair hears none. The same is hereby approved. Next.
Next item is the presentation of resolution of commendation to Mr. Alan D.Z. Bernardo by Member De La Cruz.
Member De La Cruz is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to present a resolution commending Mr. Alan D.C. Bernardo, a tricycle driver, for showing an act of honesty in returning the valuable possessions of his passenger, Mr. Noong Agil.
Is
Is he around,
Is he around?
Alan?
I see.
Aside from the commendation, I am offering a 4-year scholarship to one of his child worth 100,000, and also, since he is missing his hanap buhay today, I'll give some money for him and the family.
Thank you.
May I request my fellow city councilors to join me. Attorney Sang, kindly help give.
One thing. There is a resolution.
All members, please.
May I request Councilor King to give the 4-year scholarship?
The chairman will take the opportunity. I move for a suspension of the rules to give way to a presentation of a resolution of condolences by Member Pareja.
Rules
Together with
suspended.
Councilor Dalipe. The two, please, read the, Jan. Anda tula. The resolution is sponsored by the two members.
Hindi, co-sponsor pa na lang, those sponsors.
You read the one prepared by...
Lego yan. Leanay sila resolution.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, proceed.
a resolution expressing the august body's profound gratitude and heartfelt thanks to the late former Senate President Aquilino Nene Q. Pimentel Jr., for his invaluable service to the Philippines and significant contributions to the city of Zamboanga, and conveying to his bereaved wife, children, family members, colleagues, and friends the august body's deepest sympathy and sincere condolences for his passing. Whereas, in the early dawn of October 20, 2019, former Senate President Aquilino Nene Pimentel Jr. took his last breath of life, then succumbed to lymphoma, a cancer of the immune system. He journeyed to the other life beyond to join his Creator in eternal and peaceful rest at 5 o'clock in the morning at the age of 85. Whereas, Honorable Aquilino Nene Pimentel Jr. is considered as one of the country's fearless fighter of democracy for his relentless battle against a dictator, corruption in government, electoral fraud, and even imperialism. Whereas, he was one of the leading opposition leaders, together with our very own Cesar C. Climaco, who openly denounced and opposed the dictatorship of the then President Ferdinand Marcos during the martial law era in the Philippines. Whereas, during his short stint as Minister Secretary of Local Government under the administration of former President Cory C. Aquino, he appointed then Vitaliano D. Agan as mayor, officer in charge of the city of Zamboanga, thus recognizing Mayor Agan's capabilities and heart for public service. Whereas, as a Mindanaoan himself, he continuously worked towards finding genuine solution to achieve true and lasting peace in Mindanao. Whereas, for these tremendous contributions in the decentralization of the local government units in the Philippines, he is named as the father of the Philippine local autonomy. Whereas, with more than 50 years of experience in governance and politics, the late Aquilino Nene Pimentel Jr. had served the Filipino people with distinction and great honor as a member of the Philippine Senate for 3 terms, 1987 to 1992, 1998 to 2004, 2004 to 2010. He was a Senate President, Minority Floor Leader, and Majority Floor Leader of the Upper Chamber. Whereas, he was admired by his peers not only for his gallantry but foremost for his wisdom and legislating laws geared towards the betterment of the lives of the Filipino people. He was a prolific legislator, co-authoring, and sponsoring numerous and countless important statutes during his terms in office. Some of his significant authorship, co-authorship, and sponsorship are as follows: the Local Government Code, Public Service Office Act, Early Childhood Care and Development Act, the General Banking Law, the Electronic Commerce Act, the Ecological Solid Waste Management Act, Cooperative Code, the Act creating the Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, the People's Small Scale Mining Act, the Generic Drugs Act, and the Act establishing the Philippine Police under a reorganized Department of the Interior and Local Government. He is also the founder of the Partido Democrático Filipino, PDP. Whereas, he was also a dynamic and feisty debater whose unparalleled oratorical skills captivatingly echoed within the Senate's chamber in awesome thunder to steer and convince his colleagues, opponents, and supporters alike, as well as public, of his noble cause for the nation and the Filipino people. Whereas, former Senate President Aquilino Nene Pimentel was a great public servant, a simple, caring, and good man. He was a great friend and an advisor of Solomonic wisdom. But above all, he was a loving husband to his wonderful wife and lifetime partner, Lourdes, and devoted father to his children, Gwendolyn Patricia, Maria Petrina, Aquilino Martin, Aquilino Justinian, Teresa Lourdes, and Lorraine Marie. His untimely demise has deprived the Filipino people of a great person, but only interest of his citizenry in his heart. He lived his colorful life as a poetry in motion, and he shall always be a part of the rich and great history of Zamboanga for his significant contributions, which in one way or the other make Zamboanga City what it is today. He left behind a meaningful legacy. He shall be sorely missed. Resolved as it is hereby resolved that the Sangguniang Panlunsod of Zamboanga hereby express its heartfelt thanks and profound gratitude to the late former Senate President Aquilino Nene Pimentel Jr. for his enormous contributions to the public service, and mourn and convey our deepest sympathies and condolences to his wife Lourdes, his children, family, former colleagues, and friends for his untimely passing. He is a great loss not only to his family, but to the Filipino people as well. Transmitting this resolution to the office of the City Mayor, to the family of the late former Senate President Aquilino Nene Pimentel Jr. I move accordingly.
Jointly and severally seconded. Comment?
I just would like to manifest co-authorship, Your Honor. Earlier, I was planning to pass a similar resolution being a member of the PDP Laban. Thank you very much.
Okay.
All those
There will
present-
be two sponsors and all are jointly and severally the movement. With the approval of the resolution, Your Honor, we authorize what the members who will personally bring this. Who will be authorized to bring this? So all those who will be traveling for this purpose is authorized to present such resolution, Mr.
If you
Chairman.
can get a seat in the plane, you're fully booked hasta Monday. The burial will be tomorrow at 10 o'clock at Heritage in Taguig.
Okay. So with that authority, Mr. Chairman. Restoration of the rules, I move accordingly, Mr. Chairman.
Rules restored. Next.
Item F, reading, approval on first reading and referral. F1, proposed ordinance number 219-87.
Proposed ordinance number 2019-87 entitled An Ordinance Establishing a Family and Children Playground in Every Clustered Barangay within Zamboanga City, authored by Honorable Benjamin Gingona IV.
I move for its approval on first reading, Mr. Chairman.
Seconded by members Dalipe, Vipelago, Piok, Hanapi, De La Cruz, Olaso, Valesco, Macrohon. Any objection? The chair hears none. The same is hereby approved.
I move for its referral to the Committee on Ordinance as the lead committee, together with the Committee on Barangay Affairs, the Committee on Women and Children.
Referred to the several committees.
All those manifesting co-authorship, please. Please enter your appearance as
Please.
co-authors.
Secretariat, please take note of those councilors raising their hands manifesting co-authorship.
All? For the records, all? For the records, Your Honor, all co-sponsors. F2, proposed ordinance number 219-98.
Proposed ordinance number 2019-88 entitled An Ordinance Delineating the Territorial Boundaries of the 98 Component Barangays of the City of Zamboanga, appropriating budget therefore and for other related purposes, sponsored by the Honorable Members Cesar Jimenez, Jerry Perez, Jimmy Villaflores, and Algian Eding, and co-sponsored by Honorable Elking Umaga, along with a letter dated October 18, 2019 of the Acting City Mayor, certifying the same as urgent.
I move for its approval on first reading, Mr. Chairman.
Seconded by members De La Cruz, Olaso, Tilano, Pareja, Alavar, Bipielago, Villa Flores, Hanapi, Umaga. Any objection?
For those who would like to manifest
The same is hereby
co-authorship, please.
approved.
Make appearances.
Those manifesting co-authorship, co-sponsorship, please raise your hand so that Secretariat can take note.
I move for its referral to the Committee on Ordinance as the lead committee and the Committee on Barangay Affairs.
Referred to the several committees.
F3, Mr. Chairman, is proposed ordinance number 219-89.
Proposed ordinance number 2019-89 entitled An Ordinance Establishing and Opening a High School in Barangay, it should be Sitio Latap, open and close parenthesis, Limpapa National High School Annex, Zamboanga City, and providing an appropriation therefore, authored by the Honorable Rogelio Valesco Jr.
I move for its approval on first reading, Mr. Chairman.
Seconded by members Dalipe, Gingona, Piok, Eding, Juan Pimacoelago, Olaso, De La Cruz, Atilano, Macrohon, Pareja. Any objection? The chair hears none. The same is hereby approved on first reading.
Manifestation as co-authorship, any?
Please
Please,
take note, Secretariat, those raising their hands manifesting co-authorship. Hindi. Balesco, you are the main author, di ba?
Refer to the committee.
Hindi. El High School.
F3, Mr. Chairman, I move for its referral to the Committee on Ordinance together with the Committee on Education.
Referred to the several committees.
F4, Mr. Chairman, is proposed ordinance 219-90.
Proposed ordinance number 2019-90, an ordinance amending certain provisions of ordinance number 248 as amended and for other related purposes, sponsored by the Honorable Cesar Jimenez, along with the letter of the City Mayor dated October 21, 2019, treating on the said matter and certifying the same as urgent.
I move for its approval on first reading, Mr. Chairman.
Seconded by members Valesco, Olaso, Umaga, De La Cruz. Any objection? The chair hears none. The same is hereby approved on first reading.
Any manifestation as co-authors? This deals with the no parking. Amendment.
Dun sa parking.
Oh, tatlo kayo. Sige. Refer to the Committee on Ordinance, Mr. Chairman, as the lead committee, together with the Committee on Peace and Order, the Committee on Traffic Management.
Referred to the several committees.
Item G, Mr. Chairman, a committee report. G1, Committee on Franchise, permitting held on September 20, 2019.
Member
The
Umaga.
distinguished chairman.
Member Umaga is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. The Committee on Franchise per meeting held on September 20, 2019 concerns regarding Colorum Tricycle, the overcharging fares and related issues concerned the operation of tricycle in the city. I move for your submission, Mr. Chair.
Acceptance.
Acceptance of the report. Seconded by members Dalipe, Olaso. Any objection? Hanapi. Any objection? The chair hears none. The report is hereby accepted.
As per the committee report, Mr. Chair, is included in the agenda. I move for its approval. Recommendation. There are two recommendations, Mr. Chair. After the discussion and deliberation on motion of Honorable Jimmy B. Villaflores, duly seconded by Honorable Jihan, Eding, with no objection from the body, the committee recommends the city legal officer through Mr. Arturo A. Cabidog, the tab members, to draft an ordinance and study for possible inclusion of the following amendments in the above said ordinance. The reapplication of the 1,000 plus canceled franchise holders, consideringly they failed to renew the same for the last 3 years period prior to 2018, with the condition that the Tricycle Adjudication Board will recommend to the Committee on the Franchise for the renewal of the same. B, the issuance of IDs by tab and to all operators and drivers of tricycle for easy identification. C, extensive franchise plate to be issued by tab
One by one. Is that the first recommendation, Mr.
Yes, the first
Chairman?
Yes, Mr. Chair, the application of the 1,000 plus canceled franchise
How
holders,
many of these? How many of them?
1,000 plus.
What's that plus?
That's, it is not here, Mr. Chair.
You better be exact, Mr. Chairman. Anyway, it's for recommendation.
Yes,
Anyway,
for study. This is for study, Mr.
for
Chair.
the submission of a
Yes.
proposed amendment
Yes, Mr. Chair,
to
for
the
study.
ordinance.
Study, this is just for study, Mr. Chair.
Yes,
For study.
Member Elago?
For stu-
Your Honor, am I correct when I heard that we are referring the matter to the legal office for them to draft an amending ordinance?
Draft and study.
Is that the correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Your Honor, though, with due respect, I know the committees are doing their work, but di aton sa trabaho as a draft ordinance. Normally, tan-draft kita ordinance, kabarmanda kita man check ko ng legal office to check a legality. Pero el trabaho of drafting an ordinance, that's why tiyan kita researcher, tiyan kita personnel, di aton si trabaho. Si buta kita ko na si kanila, daw, pagka ablalente na ko sa trabaho di aton. So, I don't know, and maybe the best is for the committee, for members of the committee on tricycles to make an amending ordinance and to ask the legal officer to review the draft. Maybe that would be a better wording, Your Honor. Kay daw, baka ano kita, kasi simira kita na functions del the aton work is to legislate, to make ordinance. Kabardali kita si kunan legal office, sila elman draft. Sila elman check kung the aton draft, si legal o hindi. So I just move, Your Honor, that it will be amended to reflect that we will be the ones who will be doing the ordinance, and the legal office will check whether or not it will be in conformity with the laws.
You accept the amendment, Mr. Chairman, or not?
I ask the member that moves the motion, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. It is already a fact that City Legal Office has been drafting proposed ordinances for us. Anyway, the proper ordinance, the proper resolution might be the Tricycle Adjudication Board. The members of the franchise committee will sit together with the Tricycle Adjudication Board to formulate the possible amendments of the ordinance. That's the best, I think, way to reconcile the resolution. Yes. They just sit down together for the conceptualization of the drafting of the possible amendments of the ordinance.
We are amenable to the suggestion of the chairman.
You're moving it.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Motion.
I move. Yes po.
Okay, second.
Second.
The first recommendation.
First recommendation, seconded by members, as amended by Member Villaflores. Seconded by members Dalipe, Pelago, Hanapi, Olaso. Any objection? The chair hears none. The same is hereby approved. Next.
Letter B, Mr. Chair, the issuance of IDs by the TAB to all operators of tricycle for easy identification.
Who
Seconded.
the motion?
I move, Mr. Chair.
Seconded by members Dalipe, Villaflores, Pelago, Juan Climaco Ilago, Piok, Eding. Any objection? The chair hears none. The same is hereby approved.
Letter C, Mr. Chair, extensive franchise plate to be issued by TAB for safety and security of the commuters, especially the students. I move, Mr. Chair.
Ano extensive franchise plate? Ano yun?
Ano yun?
Extensive franchise plate to be issued by TAB. Baka bigger plate. Masabi doon. That's for study, Mr. Chair. It is for study.
For study.
Yes, for study.
Okay.
Seconded by members Dalipe, Pelago, Piok, 1 Climaco Ilago. Any objection? The chair hears none. The same is hereby approved.
This is for, Mr. Chair, this is all for study. The recommendations are all for study. The waiting time to have the tricycle driver in times of traffic. I move, Mr. Chair. The waiting time to have the tricycle drivers in time of traffic.
Yes, Councilor Ilago, you want clarification?
Your Honor, can you please define the term waiting time? Is that cost of waiting that you're trying to refer? Cost of waiting or waiting time, just waiting?
May we ask, Mr. Chair, the movement of the motion?
The waiting time refers to the fare. The fare. The additional fare for the parang waiting time na traffic during akil na traffic. Something like that. So waiting time, this refers to the possible additional fare to the drivers, from the commuters. Kasi sir, sila, kunta ka sila, kwanto minuto, talito na traffic for 5 minutes, tinay corresponding pago. Ang sinakalkal sir.
So what's the motion?
That's Mr. Chair, the waiting time. It's very clear,
So
amenable.
what's the motion?
The cost of waiting time to have the tricycle drivers in times of traffic, Mr. Chair. The cost.
What's the motion now?
Yun na, Mr. Chair.
You're just telling what's the waiting time. What's the motion?
To
Two?
Wala lang, Mr. Chair. I will just specify to study
Together with this, the bigger plate and the proposed amendments to the, if ever there is amendments to the proposed ordinance, should be all referred to the legal office.
Legal office,
For
yes,
study.
for study.
That's all.
Comment, Member Alabar.
Yes, Mr. Chair. You could only do that, Mr. Chair, si Chene Metro el Tricycle. Kasi si Noy Metro el Tricycle, pakilaya to man charge cost of waiting time. Esperahan tula na relo, no? El Tricycle tamen, hindi tamen kore. So, might as well, Mr. Chair, check yan kal bolamente. Kasi si Noy Metro, no pwede kal man-implement.
Anyway,
Thank
for
you.
study.
That's for study.
Yes. Member Olaso, you're raising your hand.
It is for just for study.
Thank you so much, Your Honor, for recognizing. Pertaining to that ordinance for study, I would just like to propose one thing for that tricycle, because we're having a lot of problems with tricycle drivers now. You know, they're collecting extra fare, extra charges with our constituents, most especially coming from the airport, from the bus terminal, and from the seaport terminal. So my, including KCC Mall as well. So my proposal, if it is possible, if we can amend into that, carry kita po ni, every terminal like airport, kada sa tricycle, ikaw ba na Manila, munta kita taxi ara, change ta dalil plate number del tricycle, konel, pasahero. So, in times yung overcharge area, cobra ele caro. Kay kung mo airport lang example, para Guardian Orchid, ta cobra 200 peso, niya ka tamikila mo. So, pwede kita ba napas ko ng tricycle driver, di ba? If we can do that, if we can amend an extra in your stand proposed to, that would be better for everybody. That's all, Mr. Chair. Thank you. I move accordingly.
So, Member
Okay,
Umaga.
anyway, that's for the study
Study, yes,
also.
Mr.
We'll just include that for the study, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, so any second to that proposal? Members Elago? Any objection? Objection, 1 Climaco Elago. Any others? With one objection, the same is hereby approved.
Lastly, Mr. Chair, the study for the possible inclusion of the deputization of barangay officials to be part in the implementation of the city ordinance.
Seconded
Mr.
by
Chair.
members
What's that?
Dalipe.
Study?
Study, yes.
Oh, study.
But it's-
Member Elago seconded it for study.
Isn't that already in the ordinance?
Consistent now.
The
Study
deputy,
also.
the
We don't know, Mr. Chair.
deputization.
Yes, that will be a study to be included in the proposed amendment. Thank you, Member King Umaga.
Okay,
Seconded by
Seconded by
Attorney
members
Elago.
Elago and Dalipe.
For study.
Hanapi, any objection? Comment? Yes, Member Macrohan.
Point of information, Your Honor. I think included sa Nadia atong ordinansa.
Talles and ordinance.
Alias and ordinansa, Your Honor.
So any objection? The chair hears none. The same is hereby approved.
Lastly, Mr. Chair, the committee adopts a resolution to earnestly request the Port Police of the Philippine Ports Authority, the Zamboanga City Police Office, through her honor, the City Mayor, to desperate the habal-habal operators, drivers in the areas of PPA, IBT, airport, the different malls and the terminals within the city, the cockpit recreational centers for protection and safety purpose of the operators, driver, particularly the riding public, and for the police to strictly enforce the law. I move, Mr. Chair.
Seconded by members Dalipe, Elago. Any objection? The chair hears none. The same is hereby approved.
That's all, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Next, Mr. Florida.
G2, Mr. Chairman, is the committee report on ordinances and resolutions permitting held on October 17, 2019. I move for the acceptance of the report.
Seconded by members Pareja, VP Elago, Atilano. Any objection? The chair hears none. The report is hereby accepted.
The recommendations made mention in the report, Mr. Chairman, is already met with the filing today of proposed ordinance number F4. So that's there already. The possible amendments to the traffic code ordinance is already filed today as proposed ordinance 219-90. I'd just like to take advantage of the discussion of this report, Mr. Chairman. Under paragraph three of page 3, the city legal office made mention about the need for the city of Zamboanga to take back possession of that area where the present lawn tennis granted to the Zamboanga Lawn Tennis Association be revoked and cancelled already. Earlier, on the letter dated October 10, 2019, the City Legal Office has addressed a letter to the President, officers, and members of the Zamboanga Lawn Tennis Association for the earlier resolution granted years ago. Do you have the resolution? To be cancelled and revoked because this site of about 2,000 square meters is a possible site for the construction of the 50 million of a parking building, Mr. Chairman. So I move that the earlier resolution granting the Zamboanga Lawn Tennis Association pursuant to the notice to vacate already sent by the City Legal Office under Memorandum Order Number 47 dated October 10, 2019, and in support thereof, a resolution be adopted by this body to have that resolution granting the use of that area by the Zamboanga Lawn Tennis Association as cancelled and revoked, Mr. Chairman.
Is that a motion?
Yes.
So seconded by members Villa Flores. Any objection? The chair hears none. The same is hereby approved.
I'm done with the report. We move forward, Mr. Chairman. Item G3, Committee on Good Government. The distinguished member Villa Flores.
Thank you, Your Honor. Muchas gracias. Buenos días. I move for the acceptance of the report.
Seconded by members Dalipe, Pareja, Umaga. Any objection? The chair hears none. The report is hereby accepted.
For the information of the body, this committee report refers to the case, administrative case filed by Mr. Expedito Marquez against the barangay officials of Tetuan in 2015, but it was only resolved this time, Mr. Chair, with several recommendations. Mr. Marquez, by the way, I'm reporting this as the temporary chairman of the Committee on Good Government, since the chairman and the vice chairman inhibited, thus the creation of a special committee on good government, of which I chaired, Your Honor, and the two special or temporary members, namely Member Jihan Eding and Member Litlit Macron, and Umaga is a regular member, but we designated him as the temporary vice chairman also. In the complaints of Mr. Marquez, he cited at least three issues that he believed that the barangay officials of Tetuan failed to comply.
Do we have copies of the report?
I already instructed Franz, nakatag ka? Yes.
Copies were furnished.
Okay. So, in first violation, alleged violation, accordingly to Mr. Marquez, that the barangay officials, by the way, the Committee on Good Government, on August 20, after this matter was referred to us, on August 20, we recommended for the dismissal of the administrative case to some former barangay officials of Tetuan, meaning those who are no longer connected with the barangay this time, because this is an administrative case, and the opinion based on the local government code of Director Taha Arakama then of the ILG said that we don't have jurisdiction over those barangay officials who are no longer connected with the barangay, including those private individuals whom Mr. Marquez included in his administrative case that he filed. So on August 20, we recommended for its dismissal, namely former barangay chairman, now city councilor John Dalipe, the former barangay kagawad Don Doyano, former barangay kagawad Santiago, former barangay kagawad Richard Mariano. So aquellos mga talipa amo ya inclui. And this is something to do with the Barangay SK League, Basketball League in Barangay Tetuan. To cut it short, since everybody has a copy of this, first, the allegations of Mr. Marquez that the barangay officials are in violation of Republic Act 6713, 6713, then another violation, yes, Republic Act 6713, which is the unprofessional conduct of the sports committees and barangay council as a whole in violations of this said Republic Act, the Code of Conduct and Ethical Standard for Government Officials and Employees. Next is the violation of Republic Act 10632, the use of the SK funds of the 10% of the general fund. The next is the graft corruption. If I may go one by one, Your Honor.
Just the recommendation, Mr.
Yes,
Chairman.
because in the first violation, the Republic Act 6713, the professional conduct of sports committees, it is unto kami todo, the committee, Member Jihan Eding, I recall that we believe that there's no sufficient evidence to pin down or to hold the barangay officials liable on the Republic Act 6713. So todo kami said that hindi pesaw, and we dismissed that issue on the Republic Act 67113. However, in the violation of Republic Act 10632, the use of the SK General Fund of the Barangay, because they claim, the complainant claims that the players do not qualify as youth, but still they were able to play and given their uniform. Among the members present during the committee, two of the members, Member Jihan Eding and Member Umaga, manifested that, again, respondents could not be held liable in the violation of Republic Act 16032, except for Member Joselito M. Macrohon, who manifested that the Kagawads, Amado Natividad Jr., Marisa Aizon, and Carlos Ascarga, respectively, are administrative liable in the utilization of funds. But since we follow the majority decisions, Your Honor, all the recommendations of the committee, I mean, that we clear the names of those who were filed administratively by Mr. Expedito Marquez on the issue of graft and corruptions, violation of 16032, and the violation of Republic Act 6713. The recommendations, with one objection for the two violations, Your Honor, except for the first one, of which Member Macron agreed that no hay bastante ebidensya, but in 2 and 3 violations that Mr. Marquez cited, the committee believes, except for one, that the respondents cannot be held liable on the administrative case filed by Mr. Expedito Marquez. Therefore, the committee, Mr. Chair, the Contemporary Committee on Good Government, of which I chair, recommends for the dismissal of the administrative case filed by Mr. Expedito Marquez Jr. against the respondents. I move accordingly, Your Honor.
Seconded by members Atilano, Umaga, Olaso, Hanapi. Let the records indicate that Member Dalipe is inhibiting.
Yes, I have earlier inhibited on this case, Mr. Chairman.
Members Elago, you're
Considering that-
seconding.
Let me finish. Considering
Yes.
I was the lawyer of the respondents in this case.
Secretariat, please take note for the record.
Since you recognize Member Elago, is he allowed to speak since he is the Vice Chairman of the Committee on Good Government and also inhibited to hold the...
Yes.
Baka man manifest lang yung...
Okay.
Your Honor, that's why I have to raise, Your Honor, so that I have to state, Your Honor, that although I was not the lawyer, I was not involved in the case, but somewhere along the line, Mr. Marquez went to me to ask for some
Advice.
legal issues. So I am constrained to inhibit, Your Honor.
Let the record indicate that Member Juan Climaco Elago is also inhibiting. So any objection? The chair hears none. The same is hereby approved.
Last, Mr. Chair, since the committee was created for this purpose, I move that the Committee on Good Government, of which I temporarily chaired, be automatically dissolved, Mr. Chair, after the resolution of this case.
No need automatic.
Okay, but
Automatic.
Automatic.
That's
Okay.
automatic.
Hopefully in the next, because there's still...
Who was the other member of the
Yes.
committee?
The regular the members of this special
Of that
committee. The temporary members are Member Jihan Eding, Member Litlit Macrohon.
Umaga?
Umaga is a regular member, and Councilor Jerry Perez, and myself. So we are 5 in the committees, of which he chaired by Attorney Kim Elago as the vice chairman. Members Umaga, Villaflores, and Perez.
So Member Perez did not participate in the deliberation.
In any of the hearing, Your Honor.
Okay. He is also absent today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next,
Noted.
per leader.
G-4, Mr. Chairman. The committee.
Michael, finding of guilt? Fine. Absolved.
Dismissed.
Dismissed.
The complaint is dismissed. G4 is the Committee on Appropriation and Ordinances and Resolution per meeting held on October 22, Mr. Chairman. This is the annual budget of the city government of Zamboanga City for fiscal year 2020. As the chairman of the Committee on Ordinance and Resolution that presided the joint public hearing held on October 22, 2019, I move for the acceptance of the report, Mr. Chairman.
Seconded by members Omaga, Atilano, Olaso, De La Cruz, Hanapi, Villaflores. Any objection? The chair hears none. The report is hereby accepted.
Copies of this report were duly furnished. We rushed this yesterday afternoon. I have to come back twice to the Sangguniang to check on the report. Gladly, we have it ready and distributed to the members this morning. I move for the approval of the report, Mr. Chairman.
Seconded by members Pareja, Atilano, Umaga, Hanapi, De La Cruz, Olaso, Juan Climacoilago, Eding, Dalipe, Villaflores. Any objection? The chair hears none. The same is hereby approved.
Thank you, gentlemen and ladies. G5, Mr. Chairman, is the Committee on Ordinance and Resolution. I'll give the floor to the distinguished chairman of the Committee on Education.
Member Atilano is recognized.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. I move for the acceptance of the report.
Seconded by members VP Alago, Piok, Eding, De La Cruz, Hanapi, Valesco, Omaga, Olaso, Pareja. Any objection? The report is hereby accepted.
So, in the report, Mr. Chair, although we have discussed this already last time, there were only about 4 to meet with the requirements of CHED for us to be able to get the approval for offering a 4-year course at the Colegio de la Ciudad de Zamboanga. We have Section 1, the address, which we failed to identify that it is located in Barangay Ayala and Barangay Vitali, with the inclusion that the principal office of the Colegio de la Ciudad de Zamboanga shall be located in Ayala Campus, Barangay Ayala, Zamboanga City. The other one is 1.3 under Section 2, that the President shall appoint the Vice President, Deans, Teaching, and Non-Teaching Personnel, subject to the confirmation of the Board of Trustees in accordance with paragraph 4.11, Section 4, Article 2 of Ordinance number 515. And number 3 is the lot that is allocated for both campuses. For Ayala Campus, we have lot 201-A-1 covering TC number T-84-715 with a total land area of 14,054 square meters located in Barangay Ayala. For Ayala Campus and for Vitali Campus, we have lot 1059-B covering by TCT number T-87394, bearing a total land area of 45,342 square meters.
I just want to emphasize, Mr. Chairman, please, the report says it's 43. It should be 45,000.
Yes, 45. It's already corrected, 45 with and another, this is a joint use with the Agriculture Office and Vitali Campus for their laboratory in agriculture. Lot
number 10059-D, which is a rice field covering a total area of 53,000 square meter, 677 square meter. So those are the amendments, Mr. Chair. So I move for the approval.
Before that, Mr. Chairman, the distinguished member Vincent Paul Elago registered to me his co-sponsorship of this amendatory ordinance.
Yes, Your Honor, I'd like to manifest my co-authorship of this ordinance, being always an attendee of the hearings that they've been conducting.
Yes, with
Who else?
Councilor
Please note
Jihan,
those
Councilor
raising hands
Chris,
as co-author.
Councilor Valesco, Councilor John Dalipe, Councilor Elking Omaga. But in the original, lahat naman eh. Oh, in the original, all. So, this amendment, the same. Oh,
This is another ordinance, that's all.
okay. So, all present. So, I move for the approval, Mr. Chair.
Seconded by, jointly and severally seconded. Next.
G5, Mr. Chairman. Finished already. H1. Unfinished business, proposed ordinance 2/1983. I move for the approval of this grant of a franchise to operate and maintain a flea market or talipapa at Aplaya, Manikaan, Zamboanga City in favor of Mr. Adwala Bahasuan for third and final reading, Mr. Chairman.
Seconded by members Atilano, Dalipe, De La Cruz, Valesco, Umaga, Olaso, Vipelago. Any object? Seconded by members Pareha. Any objection? The chair hears none. The same is hereby approved on third and final reading.
H2, Mr. Chairman, together with the distinguished Vice Chairman of the Committee on Appropriation and the Chairman of the Committee on Ordinance and Resolution, I move for the approval of proposed ordinance 2/1985, an ordinance authorizing the annual budget of the city government of Zamboanga City for fiscal year 2020 in the total amount of 4,263,6,330 pesos and what was it? Million, 330,076 pesos and 33 centavos, covering the various expenditures for the operation of the city government of Zamboanga for fiscal year 2020. Be approved on second reading, Mr. Chairman.
Seconded by members Umaga, Atilano, Olaso, De La Cruz, Hanapi, Eding, Vipelago, Dalipe. Any objection? Elago. One claim ako Elago. Pareha. Any objection? The chair hears none. The same is hereby approved on comment. Yes, Member Valesco.
Mr. Chair, on the initial front, I see that the budget for the fiscal year 2020 is in a good dimension, Mr. Chair, because of the priority in education and, of course, the allowances for the teachers and also its program on the social services, Mr. Chair. However, there would be some specific clarification that this representation needs, particularly on the site development, on the mitigating funds of the Disaster Risk Reduction Management Office to the tune of 30 million. So I was made to understand that this is to be conducted in Barangay Kabatangan. I just want to inquire from the good chairman and vice chairman of the Committee on Appropriations if there is an attachment or resolution coming from the local finance committee endorsing or recommending the property that the city is bound to have in order to establish its operation.
For purposes of the establishment of the disaster center in Kabatangan, there is an existing property already owned by the city. So I understand that is where it will be located.
This was purchased in what year?
Lot 60, I'm referring to lot 60.
Lot 60.
Lot 60 in Kabatangan.
But there is no renewed recommendation or resolution coming from the panel of negotiators or coming from the local finance committee
For,
that we are endorsing, that we are approving, recommending to the chief executive for the site development of the Kabatangan property.
no. My understanding is the appropriated funds for site development will cover only the lot currently owned already by the city. So there is no need for the panel to be involved because if you're referring to additional acquisition of land, Otrokel.
So my only comment, Mr. Chair, is that we attach whatever documents, whether it is in the previous years, in the previous administration, the recommendation, whether coming from the assessor's office, whether coming from the panel of negotiators, or coming from the itself from the local finance committee. So I would make a manifestation that we need to attach that kind of recommendation, Mr. Chair.
Yes. Before, Mr. Chairman, I stand to
Yes.
be corrected.
Yes.
Before, I have moved already the approval of the proposed ordinance on second reading. Before that, I think there is need first
With the
to
reversions.
approve the reversion of
Yes.
the unallotted legislative appropriation as made mention in the report, Mr. Chairman. I move accordingly, Mr. Chairman.
By the way, Mr. Chair, is my manifestation in order, Mr. Chair? That it can be reflected here. And that the Chair...
We'll go
of
back to
the-
that, Member Valesco.
Okay.
We'll first approve the...
So you withdraw the
reversion.
earlier motion for the approval on second reading and take first the resolutions for approval of the reversions. Mr. Florida.
I move accordingly, Mr. Chairman.
Seconded by members Villaflores, Dalipe, Eding, Pareja, Olaso, Umaga. Any objection on the reversions? The chair hears none. The same is hereby approved.
With the approval of the reversion, Mr. Chairman, I now move for the approval of the proposed ordinance 219-85 for second reading.
For second reading. Seconded by members Villaflores, Dalipe, Eding, Umaga, Pareja, Tilano, Olaso. Now we take up the comment of Member Valesco.
Yes, let the comment of Member Valesco be recorded. Okay, do we hear of any objection, Mr. Chairman? Yes.
Just a simple attachment, Mr. Chair, so that technically speaking, the position also of the local finance committee as well as that of the executive will be not necessarily be in conjunction that we are trying to play it safe, Mr. Chair, but this is also a document that indeed that can really push hard for the passage of this, although it will be passed, Mr. Chair. But this is just a manifestation, a recommendation, so that everything will be in order and above board, Mr. Chair.
Member Valesco, I don't think there is a need for that, what you're requesting, since the appropriation is not intended for a property still to be acquired by the city, but will cover only that portion of the property in Kabatangan, referring to Lot 60, which is already titled in the name of the city.
Yes, Mr. Chair, but I think we need to attach the title, Mr. Chair.
I'm sorry?
We still need to attach it when we pass this in third reading.
I don't see the need. In the same manner that
Yeah.
for all projects that are appropriated involving city properties, you don't need to attach all the
Anyway,
titles.
yeah. Anyway, Mr. Chair, I already made the manifestation, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, Member Macron.
Thank you, Your Honor. I think this executive budget 2020, Your Honor, it's a good output. No? This is actually a product of several meetings and the ELA, no, made pwede kita kalmanhunto na Palmeras with all different department heads, Talya, And based on my personal assessment, Your Honor, I am in support no, with the executive budget 2020, but not on its entirety. I wish to reflect on records my manifestations on some reservations no, on the executive budget. Number one, my reservation on all lump sum appropriations, no? Because as stated in the local government code, we can only approve specific projects, not on lump sum amount. Secondly is my reservation also on the amount of budget being appropriated on some items, no, particularly under the office of the city mayor, city engineer's office, and city disasters office, particularly on some items under capital outlay and equipments. Duda lang, doubt lang din niya, Your Honor, if these officers, particularly those people aside, siya pwede ba sila no, prudently showing careful judgment, especially on the amount they estimate on particular item. So it's more on prudent judgment as far as the amount being appropriated, because there are some items na tamiredol out to L amount of appropriation, and that leads me to my reservation, Your Honor. Also, my reservation on the issue of the authority of our committee chairman on appropriation, considering LL Diaton presiding officer, our vice mayor. And my reservation also on reversions, no? Si Yachenia ba kita proper communication and consent with all the barangay projects and report kita. Importante lang, LD aton mga barangay officials are well consented, Your Honor. Of course, with the prayer na all these projects, Chenia Kinadi aton budget will be implemented properly and government funds will be utilized properly, economically, and providently. Okay? Kaya lang, Your Honor, jutay question kayo pregunta, anyone can answer, and it's the grande kat cosa. If this will be considered, okay, if hindi man pwede, okay lang namin. Kaya mira clothing allowance aki. No clothing allowance.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman.
Your Honor,
Point of order
What
already.
is the point of order?
This should have been raised during the public hearing. At this point in time, that cannot be raised anymore, Mr.
I think we are on a discussion, Your
Macron.
Honor.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know why?
Yes, maybe.
We just approved the report.
Yes.
Those comments of yours are not even in the report.
Just a resolution na lang like, Your Honor, on the other
This
matters.
is already matters that we cannot discuss here.
Maybe a resolution later on the other matters, Your Honor,
Yes,
regarding
perhaps.
this matter.
Can I ask the Secretary?
Okay, thank you very much.
If the manifestations made by Member Macrohon were submitted to us or to the Secretariat even before the agenda was taken up today, because I recall Member Macrohon is a member of the Appropriations Committee, and if he has any objection to the committee report approved earlier, it should have been made prior to the taking up of the proposed ordinance today.
None.
None, Your Honor.
Otherwise, under our rules, as a member of the Appropriations Committee, without any formal objection to the recommendations of the committee, you are constrained to go along with the recommendations of the committee.
Yeah, I'm not actually objecting, Your Honor.
So there is no objection?
No objection
Okay.
alya. Kaya lang pwede lang mira uno item aki, no particularly LD aton clothing, uniform allowance. Pregunta lang gani era LD aton mga casual employees si
Again, Mr. Chairman, point of order.
That's
again.
all,
Let's
Your
not
Honor, no.
discuss.
Nuhay ko sa big deal kayo talya.
Yes.
And that is not actually an objection, Your Honor.
Okay.
Okay.
I am actually in support of the budget, but not on its entirety with those reservations that I made.
Any other?
Okay?
Any objection to the proposed motion for approval on second reading? The chair hears none. The same is hereby approved on second reading.
This proposed ordinance, Mr. Chairman, having been certified as urgent, as the Chairman of the Committee on Ordinance and Resolution, I move for its approval on third and final reading, Mr. Chairman.
Jointly and severally seconded.
Next is the approval on second reading, the proposed ordinance 219, an ordinance providing the plantilla of personnel of the city government of Zamboanga for calendar year January 1 to December 31, 2020. I move for its approval, Mr. Chairman.
Seconded by members Villaflores, Vipielago, Dalipe, Alavar, Pioc, Eding, Olaso, Hanapi, Balesco, Omaga, Macrohon, Matilano, Pareja. Any objection? The chair hears none. The same is hereby approved on second reading.
Having been certified, Mr. Chairman, as urgent, I move for its approval on third and final reading.
Seconded by, jointly and severally seconded. Next.
H4, Mr. Chairman. I move for its approval on second reading, Mr. Chairman.
Seconded by members Pareja, Atilano, Valesco, Umaga, Olaso, Hanapi, Dalipe, Vipielago, De La Cruz. Any objection? The chair hears none. The same is hereby approved on second reading.
The same again having been certified as urgent.
Yes.
I move for its approval on third and final reading, Mr. Chairman.
Seconded by members Dalipe, Villaflores, Eding, Hanapi, Olaso, Valesco, Umaga, Pareja, Pioc, Atilano, De La Cruz. Any objection? The chair hears none. The same is hereby approved on third and final reading.
Business of the day, H1.
Before that, Mr. Floor Leader, I earlier before the start of the session, I saw my suki from Adeles Flea Market here. So, but I checked the agenda. It's not. There's nothing on the agenda. Just for their information, they might be waiting until later para may galele na agenda today. Yung Adeles franchise ata. So may paara.
There is nothing on the agenda, Mr. Chairman. Any report?
Then we will just inform them that it's not included in today's agenda. Biray lang sila the next session. Huh?
So they
Ewan
don't
ko,
have
hindi
to
ko alam.
wait. Yeah, we are breaking rules, Mr. Relago. There should be a report. It should be included in the regular agenda. We move forward, Mr. Chairman, H1.
Okay, Member Tilano.
There's a committee hearing.
Naipal report. We will waiting for the report.
So,
No report came, so we cannot discuss it.
siya niya committee hearing kasi.
Yes, Chairman.
So I think we informed them.
Oh, we informed them that it's not on the agenda today. Wala sa agenda karon.
Espera sila kika naton. We informed them that there's a committee hearing made. The committee report will be made next session. Then we are inviting them to attend next session so that the committee report and they can
Sino ba?
be discussed, Your Honor.
Member Olaso, so that the stakeholders will be duly informed. I was surprised to see them earlier. I don't know who informed them to come today.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Chair. Thank you for the acknowledgement. By the way, pertaining to Aderes Flea Market, I was also surprised to see them today, but supposedly we're going to call them on the next supposedly session.
Next session, okay.
Because I'm going to refer them to the Committee on Ordinance to do a joint committee hearing pertaining their request to approve
We will
franchise.
discuss first your your committee report.
Okay.
In the next session. Just
Noted.
to inform them, so they will be informed as to when the next
Yeah.
session. Are we in agreement? I'm asking for the
Consensus.
consent of the members. Next week, if today is Friday, if we'll have a session on Wednesday, that's about 2 days of matters to be included. And to give way to the staff of the Sangguniang to be working on the budget, shall we have the next session of the council on November 5, Tuesday? Do we agree on that?
Yes.
Although we are on call next week, because
Yes.
31 might be declared a holiday. So the next session would be on November 5, Tuesday. So you inform them that they may come on November 5 to hear the report of the committee. There is no pending ordinance yet before the committee on ordinance. Precisely, we do not want to disturb the stenographers. They are working together with the Division on Resolution and Ordinances.
So next,
Next, Member Atilano.
good morning again. Mr. Chair, this is in connection with the yearly Brigada Escuela that is being conducted nationwide. Now, I propose this resolution because before, if you look at that school, si sabi ustedes, yan daw ustedes na Zamboanga Central School. In fairness to the previous school head, no? Bien, no sé si pwede ba kita habla, hindi ba bien arreglaw, no? But I was surprised now, the only school from Zamboanga City who won in the Brigada, especially in the mega level school, no, is the Zamboanga Central School. There are 8 categories, no? High school, elementary, pero este lang ilaga na Ciudad de Zamboanga, no? That's why I'm filing a resolution congratulating the principal, Dr. Edsel R. Francisco, its faculty member, and the PTA officer, GPTA officers of the Zamboanga Central SPED Center who helped in the successful implementation of the Brigada Escuela by winning first place in the 2019 Regional Search for Brigada Escuela Best Implementing School Division and the region level in the mega school category. So may I request...
That's the second time?
Is this your second time, sir?
Second time?
Second time? Yes.
Doon naman siya. Segundo este. Siga na pa ng otoan niyo, kusaya.
All of Fame.
Grants
All of Fame niya.
Pero sa eskwela antes, sabi man kita, no? Por eso, again, we are giving them this commendation from the City Council and also some, shall we call, assistance coming from the Chairman of Education. So may we request the principal and the teachers to receive the commendation coming from the City Council. So I move accordingly, Mr. Chair.
Jointly and severally seconded.
I would like, with the approval of the proponent, I would like to co-sponsor that, Your Honor, because Dr. Edsel Francisco was my classmate in high school, CTI. Together with another one, si Tere. Tere!
Secretariat, please take note.
Will you escort your classmate to receive the and the teachers?
Teresa, man-join ka na mo lagi, oh. Classmate.
Yan, siya ba? Si Ronald? Ha?
We would like, Mr. Chair, a message from our principal, Sir Francisco.
Dr. Francisco is recognized.
Buenos dias a todos, especially to our Vice Mayor and to the rest of the city councilors, be it from District 1 and 2 or District 2. Again, buenos dias. This is already our second year. 1 year more para man Brigada Eskwela Hall of Famer niya. So, tapindi kami, or tarindi kami gracias kay LCT Council. Una-una yan na award kung na eskwela this year. Nuhay pa L Division schedule, nuhay pa L Regional schedule, and the national schedule will be this coming November 28. For our information, si tan-select ka natin L Regional level, automatically, winner yan na national level. So we would like to thank all the city councilors, especially akil mga kin yadali ka naman el time. Ya bisita ko na la eskwela si Councilor Pinpin Pareja, si Councilor Bong Atilano, Councilor Jerky Balesco, Jimmy Villaflores, si Councilor Lilibet Nuño, Litit Macrohon, and to the rest of our city councilors. I know, ya dali también ustedes mga ayuda na diferente eskwela. So, yun lang ta PD gracias con vosotros. And especially to Sir Bong Atilano, being the chairman of education, ya delegat to inspirations ko na diaton mga teachers because LL yan sponsor uniform na every Friday amo kalal mga teachers ay usa. Si, amo hindi otro, chene otro. So, I think na December 13, el party del mga teachers, that will be the proper day wherein si Sir Bong man-turn over kunel uniform na mga teachers. Okay.
Entero division?
No, na eskwela lang, konsehal. Na 100 teachers de la eskwela. So, again, thank you so much. I know, manada pa kami ko sa pwede ase na Zamboanga Central School. And Zamboanga Central School, taliba nombre de Zamboanga gayot, no? Hindi lang de barangay. So, I know, manada pa kami ko sa, kita ko sa pwede ase to make the school a premier school in Zamboanga City and to make it as the model school in Zamboanga City con el ayuda del Consejo de Zamboanga. Muchísimas gracias.
Congratulations again, sir. Next item, Mr. Floor Leader.
Come on. I-2. Noted and filed, Mr. Chairman.
Noted and filed.
I-3. Any comment?
Member Gingona? Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. If we recall, it was during the ELA that we made this manifestation that there's a need to construct a wastewater treatment facility for our sewerage and septage. And it is very delighting to find out that the response of the city planning officer has mentioned that a budget of 40 million has been allocated for such purpose. But may I solicit the wisdom of the august body if it is proper to furnish a copy, the Zamboanga City Water District Office, for their information?
Yes.
Yeah. So I would like to propose a resolution furnishing the Zamboanga City Water District a copy of this letter for their information, Mr. Chairman. I move accordingly.
Seconded by members Pareja, Villaflores, Dalipe, Olaso, Umaga, Hanapi, Eding, Piok, VP Alago. Any objection? The chair is none. The same is hereby approved.
I-4, Mr. Chairman, I move for its approval and the grant of the authority to honor the mayor to sign the same.
Seconded by members Pareja, Umaga, Alavar, Dalipe, Piok, Olaso. Any objection? The chair hears none. The same is hereby approved.
I-5, referred to the Committee on Ordinance for review.
Referred to the Committee on Ordinance.
I-6,
Member Alago.
Yes, Your Honor, I'd like to pass an omnibus resolution relative to items I.6.1, I.6.2, I.6.3, I.7.1, I.7.2, J.5.1, J.5.2, J.5.3, J.5.4, and J.5.5. I move accordingly, Your Honor.
Seconded by members Dalipe, Villaflores. Any objection? The chair hears none. And De La Cruz. Reservation. Any objection? The chair hears none. The same is hereby approved. Next.
next is I-8. 8, referred to the Committee on Good Government. For obvious reasons, myself and Member Olaso are inhibiting. May I invite the attention of the Vice Chairman that there are already several cases inhibited by the Chairman, and it is expected that the Vice Chairman should take over a matter of procedure.
Referred to the Committee on Good Governance.
I hope the Vice Chairman, the Committee on Good Government, takes notice of the same. I.9, referred. This thing, I went over the papers, documents submitted to this office, addressed to this representation, that all that was submitted are documents, but there is no affidavit of complaint. So we refer back this matter to the Barangay Kagawads, officials of Santa Barbara concerned, and for them to execute the requisite affidavit of complaint under the circumstances, Mr. Chairman. I so move.
Seconded by members Pareja, Umaga, Olaso, Dalipe, Eding, and Hanapi. Any objection? The chair hears none. The same is hereby approved. Next.
I.10. Noted and filed.
Member Villaflores, this was included upon your request.
I-10.
Your Honor, this is because of the consistent request or pangungulit of a certain Mrs. Lopez somewhere at Veterans Avenue that she wanted to open up the old drainage that connects Veterans Avenue going Santa Barbara. But DPWH said that they have already programmed a drainage system along Veterans Avenue. Unfortunately, DPWH cannot just implement that project because they're still awaiting for the executive order to be issued by the mayor on the traffic scheme because it will really cause traffic. This is one of the reasons that Director Chole Roble asked the help of the council if we can ask the mayor to read the city because the letter of request for the executive order to be issued on the possible traffic scheme on the area when this project will be implemented is in the office of the city administrators. So I then, Mr. Chair, move that in relations of item 1.10, I would like to sponsor a resolution addressed to the city administrator's office to already look into the request of DPWH for the possible for the chief executive for the issuance of the executive order relative to the project to be implemented later on. Executive order on the possible traffic scheme on the area as soon as the projects will be implemented. This is the thing that they want to request, Mr. Chair. Subject to style, I move accordingly.
Seconded by members Dalipe. Any objection? The chair hears none. The same is hereby approved. Next item. I understand. New business?
New business? New business, Mr. Chairman. Letter of October 21, 2019 of the City Mayor, the letter of agreement of program financing relative to the BLT kitchen in Tetuan Central School Pet Center. We grant the authority, we move for its approval, the grant of the authority to Her Honor the Mayor to sign the same, Mr. Chairman. I move accordingly.
Seconded by members Dalipe, Kim Elago, Valesco, Olaso, De La Cruz, Eding. Any of VP Elago? Any objection? The chair hears none. The same is hereby approved.
J2, noted and filed that there are no available salvage materials for donation as requested for the Limaong National High School per resolution of this council number 1276, September 17, 2019. J3, Mr. Chairman.
Noted and filed.
Noted and filed. Yes, and for the same.
Sino ba? Why?
J3.
J3.
Noted and filed, Mr. Chairman.
Noted and filed.
J4. Noted and filed. Shall we repair this? Yes, we reiterate that this matter be submitted to the city legal and the city agriculturist for a draft of an enabling ordinance on the matter. Yes, we'll refer this to the city legal office again. Ha? Na-legal na officially?
Hindi.
DILG. So we refer this back, refer this to the legal and the city agriculturist office.
So there was already an earlier resolution which referred this matter to the city legal office. So our staff will just follow it up with them.
So note and filed. Are reiterating resolution to the city legal. Any second? Seconded by members Dalipe, Elago, Pareja, Umaga. Any objection? The chair hears none. The same is hereby approved. Next. J5 finished.
J6, noted and filed, and for those interested, the chairman of the Committee on Women, if he wish to attend.
Note. No need to give authority. I will just sign.
J7,
Noted and filed. J7.
I move for the grant of the concurrence, Mr. Chairman.
Seconded by members Elago, Pareja, Olaso, Umaga, VP Elago, Hanapi. Any objection? The chair hears none. The same is hereby approved.
J8, same, I move for the grant of the concurrence. Executive Order BC 515-2019.
Seconded by members Pareja, Umaga, Elago, Juan Climaco, members Dalipe. Any objection? The chair hears none. The same is hereby approved.
Respect to Executive Order number BC 516-2019. I move for the grant of the concurrence. There are two executive orders, that's why.
Dalawa yun, dalawa. Separate. Seconded by members Pareja, Juan Climaco, Elago, Hanapi, Eding, Umaga, Villa Flores, Dalipe. Any objection? The chair hears none. The same is hereby approved.
J9. Any pleasure from Member Redding? With respect to our inspection at Sitio Taluptap. Noted and filed.
Noted and filed.
Okay. Continuation of new business.
J10.
Yan pa ba? J9.
J10.
Nandiyan man ang J10. J10.
Correction lang sa kwan.
I move for the approval.
With correction,
An
Mr.
act
Chair.
temporary this one way. I move for the grant of the concurrence, Mr. Chairman.
Seconded by members Dalipe, Pareja, Olaso,
Eding.
Eding.
And with correction, Mr. Chair, sa time.
On the executive order?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Kasi the 5 to 7 is a torch parade, but the duration of the
We cannot
homecoming.
change the executive order. The amendment should be made at their side before we approve.
So, hindi kita pwede kambya el ora lang from 5 to 12 midnight?
Hindi.
El ora
Pwede.
lang.
Sila lang kanta pwede.
Ansina? Okay.
So any objection? The chair hears none. The same is hereby approved. Next.
J11. Noted and filed.
Noted and filed. Next.
J12. I move for its approval and the grant of the authority for Her Honor the Mayor to sign the same, Mr. Chairman.
Seconded by members Umaga, Pareja, Valesco, Hanapi, Olaso. Any objection? The chair hears none. The same is hereby approved.
J13, the same. Move for its approval and the grant of the authority to Her Honor the Mayor to sign the same.
Seconded by members Pareja, Hanapi, Olaso. Any objection? The chair hears none. The same is hereby approved.
J14, referred to the Committee on Ordinance, Education. Now, School Board. School Board, Mr. Chairman.
Sino kita propose ordinance?
Okay, refer to the Committee on Education.
Refer to the Committee on Education.
J16, J17, Mr. Chairman.
Kabayang.
I move for it. Oh, yeah. 15.
15, 16.
Dali, omnibus.
No, this was just submitted earlier, so it was not included.
Okay, you include
J.16 and J.16
15.
and
15 and 16.
J.15, Your Honor. 15 and, no.
15 and 16.
15 and 16, Your Honor. J.16, 1 and 2?
Pati.
I
Member
I move for concurrence, Your Honor.
Include lang and all others submit.
Seconded by members Umaga, Dalipe, Eding, Olaso,
Paidiat yung mga...
with the same reservation from Member De La Cruz. Any objection? The chair hears none. The same is hereby approved.
J17, I move accordingly, Mr. Chairman, for the approval of the barangay supplemental budget of Talaban and Son 1 and all others submitted before 5 this afternoon.
Seconded by members
Up to
Umaga, Balesco,
submitted
Hanapi,
before 5 o'clock or
Lago, Dalipe, Villaflores.
or submitted to be submitted before official business hour
Tonight.
on October 31, 2019. Ha? Pwede?
Hindi.
Hindi,
Ha?
pwede.
Oh.
Na man-meeting man kita session, November 5.
Lumaya. Only until today.
Ha?
Only until the close of office hours.
Before 5 o'clock this afternoon.
Yes. Any objection? The chair hears none. The same is hereby approved.
SK. Member Pyok.
Or Member Pio.
I move accordingly, Mr. Chairman, the Barangay Putik SK
SK
annual budget and
And
all
all
those submitted before 5 o'clock this afternoon.
Seconded by members Umaga, Dalipe, Villaflores, VP Lago, Olaso. Any objection? The chair hears none. The same is hereby approved.
Other matters.
Other matters I have here on my table, proposed resolutions from Member Pareja.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is a resolution congratulating Police Brigadier General Debold Sinas for being appointed as the new National Capital Region Police Officer Director last Wednesday, October 16, at the Camp Bagong Diwa, Taguig City. Sinas, who belongs to the Philippine Military Academy's Hinirang class of 1987, replaced his Mista Police Major General Guillermo Alazar. And prior to his appointment, Sinas was the chief of the Central Visayas Police, and Sinas also served Zamboanga City as the Regional Chief Director Staff of Police Regional Office 9 from the year 2015 to 2017. I move accordingly, Mr. Chair.
Seconded by members Dalipe, Villaflores, Hanapi, Valesco. Any objection? The chair hears none. The same is hereby.
We can include, Your Honor,
Yes?
that Debold Sinas was the first mobile group commander from Buanga City. He was the first, then General Yanga, Major Yanga. Yan sa Buanga City Mobile Group. If you note, Alina Kwan is the first Yakadale
Subject to style,
yes.
Mr. Chair. We have
Mobile
other
Group
information.
Chief or Commander.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Jim.
There being no objection, the same is hereby approved.
Another resolution congratulating Police Brigadier General Angelito A. Casimiro for being appointed as Acting Regional Director of Pro 2 Cagayan Valley Police under the leadership of PNP Officer in Charge Police Lieutenant General Archie Francisco Gamboa. Effective Sunday, October 20, 2019, Casimiro served Zamboanga City as the Chief of Police and the City Director from January 28, 2014 to January 9, 2016. Subject to styling, Mr. Chair, I so move.
Jointly and severally seconded. Next.
Another, Mr. Chair, no, I want to reiterate the resolution. This was passed last what's the date? Taas. January 29, 2019 by no less than our former Councilor Honorable Chodeber A. Arquiza. We just want to reiterate resolution number 0105 requiring the owners of the boarding houses in the 98 barangays to submit profiles, no? Mga profiling ito, Mr. Chair. So we needed this, Mr. Chair. And another, no, requesting also our barangays, the 98 barangays, to honor the mayor, to also require them to profile not only the transients or the boarders, but all residents in their barangay, just to avoid the same incident by saying na no sabi kay Janet Takedaan sina klase de residente aki na barangay. So just to avoid that and to have all the records in the residents of the respective barangay, Mr. Chair, again, the profiling system is effective, Mr. Chair, and I would like to pass a resolution requesting the same to all the barangays to have the profiling in the different, in the residents, Mr. Chair.
I second that, Your Honor, but I have some comments. Can we make it, although a resolution is temporary in nature, but it should be, it should appear that parang urgently that we need their cooperation. Akil ba, we cannot make this thing mandatory, no? We cannot make this thing mandatory on their part. But they have to cooperate, so I don't know, see, the tenor of the resolutions, that we really need their cooperation because if just a mere resolution, generally, kalang perang ito, daw, why sila lingasa?
Yes, I understand, Mr.
Yes.
Chair, no, the sentiments of Councilor Jimmy, no. We really need these things badly this time because of what had happened the other day at Barangay Canelar. But, Mr. Chair, I am in the process of preparing siguro an ordinance, no, to really ask the cooperation of the barangay up to the Purok level, Mr. Chair, in terms of the intel gathering and, of course, to include the profiling of the residents, Mr. Chair.
So,
Thank you.
seconded by members Villaflores and Dalipe. Any objection? The chair hears none. The same is hereby approved. Next, Member Elago. Vincent Paul Elago.
Your Honor, when we had the committee hearing relative to the Bolong Beach problem, we actually came up with recommendations seeking the assistance of the Environment Management Board to educate us in as far as their findings is concerned. But Your Honor, this representation decided to head for their office in Luyahan, Pasunanca last week, and I was able to get information regarding the average fecal coliform that is considered as not alarming yet, and it is supposed to be just 100. But Your Honor, in the findings of DENR EMB, it will show in their chart that there are times when it reached even as much as 17,000 in 1 month. So Your Honor, there is really a need for the Environment Management Board, Department of Environment and Natural Resources, to give us their recommendation. And per our conversation last week, Your Honor, it was agreed that I shall pass a resolution requesting DENR EMB to furnish us with or to submit to us their recommendation and or mitigating measures or suggestions on how to resolve this matter concerning fecal coliform in our Bolong Beach, Your Honor. So I move accordingly.
Seconded by members Eding, Villaflores, Dalipe, Olaso, De La Cruz. Any objection? The chair hears none. The same is hereby approved.
Next, Your Honor, this one is a request for the Department of Agriculture. You see, Your Honor, there's been a lot of talks and a lot of articles on the use of ethanol from sugarcane. And people in Luzon, farmers in Luzon, are encouraged to plant sugarcane for purposes of ethanol extraction, Your Honor, which is now a component, a mandatory component in any fuel liquids. So, Your Honor, I'd like to request the Department on Agriculture. This has something to do with my talks with other farmers. It seems that our farmers in Zamboanga City are not so knowledgeable in as far as this new development is concerned. So I'd like to request the Department on Agriculture to conduct orientations on the lucrative farming of sugarcane for ethanol and opportunities for available government loans and grants in connection with this national government's encouragement of local farmers to engage in sugar farming. I move accordingly, Your Honor.
Seconded by members Eding, Villaflores, Dalipe, Pareja. Any objection? The chair hears none. The same is hereby approved. There's nothing, Member Eding, then Villaflores in that order.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. As part of the Co-op Month celebration, tomorrow, CDA, together with BIMFEDCO and CCDC, will have its culminating activity. So I would like to extend an invitation to everyone to a cooperative summit from 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. Aliaksina Central Pastoral, Mr. Chair. I hope everyone can attend. And also, from 7 p.m. onwards, L6 Grand Alumni Homecoming, Dalgiwan Elementary Schools, Mr. Chair. So everyone is enjoined to attend. So thank you.
Take note of the invitation. Member Villaflores. Then Member Valesco.
Thank you, Your Honor. First, Dinantes siya man comment kita on tricycle driver, kanya devolve el wallet ko Mr. Nung Ajihil. Just very unfortunate, I cannot give this for scholarship. Sayang ngayon. I will just ask Monzi, my compadre. You know, the other day, I happened to listen to one of the stations, with all due respect with our other media outfit, covering the City Council. I heard over Brigada News FM with Manager Dan Vicente. A security guard by the name of Nelson Alga Fabillaran of Dacia Security Agency, who is presently assigned at PNB Veterans Bank, PNB Veterans Avenue, turned over a wallet at the Brigada Station containing 8,860 pesos with all the documents, IDs owned by Mr. Gary Tuban, an overseas, a former overseas workers and having business some businesses and Tetuan, I think. So with this, Mr. Chair, I'd like to sponsor a resolution subject to style. We also commend the honesty of this guy. The action is really worth commending the security guard Nelson Alga Pabillaran of Dacia Security Agency, who is presently assigned at PNB, Philippine National Bank Veterans Avenue branch, Mr. Chair. And hopefully we can have this guy on the next available session so that we can also present the resolution of commendation. With this, Mr. Chair, I move accordingly.
Seconded by members Dalipe, Valesco, Olaso, Eding. Any objection? And De La Cruz. There being no objection, the same is hereby approved.
Hopefully, my compadre, member Monsi De La Cruz, can also offer a four-year scholarship program to the children. One of the children. Hopefully, I am only asking.
That's your initiative, Member Villaflores.
I'm only asking because I don't have.
Also.
I don't know. I'm only asking.
Why are you endorsing?
Next, Your Honor, this is just for I supposed to call for a committee hearing after referring this matter to me, but since the issue is already addressed in the budget, this is in relation with the resolution of Barangay Council of Recodo, asking for the amount of 700,000 pesos for the construction of drainage system, 1 million from the fencing construction of Recodo National High School, 3 million intended for the concreting of road, totaling all of the overall sum of 4.7 million or 4,700,000 pesos into one project, construction of covered court of Recodo Elementary School. I believe that there's no need for the calling of the public hearing or committee hearing to this effect, because the budget office has already addressed this issue by including this request in the annual budget for next year. The 4.7 is already been addressed. It has already been reverted into one project. So that for the information only of the members. Next is I am in receipt of quorum? Okay. A receipt of a letter coming from the city legal office from
11.
baka na may quorum. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay pa, tiyan pa. Pwede pa. Tiyan pa. I'm in receipt of a letter coming out dated October 24, 2019 from the office of the city legal, signed by Attorney Jesus C. Carbon Jr., city legal officer, endorsing the letter of complaint of a certain Jean S. Vanyo Uy. No, this is the
City Director.
The city director. I mean, the complaint of a certain Emelina L. Guevara against, I don't know who, if you know this guy, Santos Cortez Cagang Jr., a barangay kagawad of San Jose Gusu, for alleged libel. The case, the letter is about libel and the ethical standard, and it has been referred to me. As a matter of procedure, Your Honor, under our House rules, the Committee on Ethics, Rules and Privileges has no jurisdiction over a barangay kagawad on an unethical standard or his attitude problem in the barangays. We will inform the City Legal Office, the DILG, and of course the complainant. Si Kerrigadly man-file complaint, it should be a verified complaint, administrative complaint, to be filed against a certain kagawad, against kagawad Santos C. Cagang Jr., kagawad San Jose Gusu. Kagang. So this thing, we will inform the letter senders, the city legal office, the ILG, and even the complainant that si Kerrigadle Pursigi, it is not supposed to be on the committee, on ethics.
Libel on what aspect?
Sino lang, kosa-kosa lang daw talaga, palabra.
Donde?
It is in the letter, unwritten. If I may read the letter, addressed to City DILG. Ang complaint nako, sir, man nga tagaan o justisya ang iyang inibisaya, ang iyang gipang.
You suggest the complainant, the one who wrote the
Yes,
letter,
to file a complaint.
to go to the
Administrative.
Commission on Human Rights.
Correct. Okay. So,
They will be explained.
okay. So, not this August body, Your Honor. I am going to submit this document to the Secretariat, Your Honor, for their own records.
Member Valesco?
I have still one.
Wala ka nagka-written? Wala ka written sa ako.
No, but this is between life and death.
Okay.
On the part of the employees. You know, we'll be observing already the Kalag-Kalag, All Souls and All Saints Day. You know, el problema ng mga empleyado ito na ara is still na mga sweldo nila. I like to pass sponsor resolution addressed to our city accountant office and the budget office, I think, to already accept all the payrolls from the Sangguniang Panglungsod and others, all casual. Oh yes, casual and job orders, because they are now preparing all the payrolls, the DTRs to be submitted to the city accounting office to already accept el mga di ila mga payrolls probably on the October 28, 2019. So early kay November 30 man kita aura, October 31. So debe October 28 pa lang, Your Honor, receive ya sila so that man-process ya, so that they can already have their salary on October 30 in time of the observation of the All Souls and All Saints Day, because I'll still be preparing my canopy as my gratitude and respect to the late Mayor Vitaliano Diagan. So please, I move accordingly, Your Honor.
Objection.
Seconded by Member Dalipe. Any pareha? Any objection? The Chair De La Cruz. There being no objection, the same is hereby approved. Member Valesco, then Member Juan Climaco Ilago.
Mr. Chair, thank you very much. I think peace and order is one primordial concern of the Samongueños, and I think the barangay officials, the barangay tanots are the frontline service providers in as far as defending our community. So 2 nights ago, Mr. Chair, the friend of our Vice Mayor, Joselito Nuevo, who heads the Philippine Shooters Match Officers Confederation, has made a suggestion that our barangay officials and the tanod should undergo gun safety and related courses, and they are willing to offer it, the trainings, to our barangay officials and barangay tanods, the Philippine Shooters Match Officers Confederation. So I would like to refer this, Mr. Chair, to to the Committee on Barangay Affairs.
And peace and order.
Yeah, and peace and order, Mr. Chair.
Can man-provide ng bala?
Huh?
No, so that our chairman on Barangay Affairs and the Philippine Shooters Confederation, they will discuss among themselves the details.
Scheduling.
Yeah. So I move accordingly.
Seconded by Members VP Ilago, pareha, Dalipe. Any objection? The Chair hears none. The same is hereby approved. Last, Member Juan Climaco Ilago.
Yan na ba siya written?
Why?
No, it's out of order, Mr. Chairman.
Your Honor, from the beginning, many are already out of order, Your Honor. So I will just follow, Your Honor. Anyway, isa lang, Your Honor. Maliit lang ito sa akin.
Uno lang, ha?
Uno lang, Your Honor.
Maliit lang yan sa'yo.
Maliit lang sa akin. Madali lang. Your Honor, I have observed, Your Honor, for the past 2 to 3 weeks, that the typewriters, the old typewriters of the city courts, of our courts, are being disposed, being junked. Talya lang apuera. And I think they will junk it. They're disposing of it. Your Honor, computers and old typewriters, Your Honor, the beautiful, yung mga grande typewriters, Your Honor. I found out, I tried to use one, Your Honor. I found it, serviceable pa. Pwede pa, usa, Your Honor. Tansayang Your Honor, kasi we're trying to do delayed registration. Pwede kasi kami usa during na mga barangay, kaya mga barangay, mas anad sila asi entra na typewriter el mga entries kontra usa computer. Your Honor, with that respect, Your Honor, may we pass a resolution asking, Your Honor, pwede lang si manda kita kompone, Your Honor, na mga trade school daton. We ask, Your Honor, if it is possible that some of the computers, at least mga 10 computers, Your Honor, typewriters, sorry, 10 manual typewriters, Your Honor, be given and donated to the City Council for its use, Your Honor. I move accordingly, Your Honor.
Seconded by Members Villa Flores, Dalipe.
Donated by whom?
Huh? By the RTC, Your Honor, by the judges, Your Honor.
Ba?
Request, or the
Whose property are those? Supreme Court?
Actually, Your Honor, si tapensa kita, they were bought by the city government. You know, sa mga computers, mga aircon, they were given. So those typewriters, Your Honor, owned by the different courts, Your Honor,
To whom we will address the
to the
resolution.
presiding executive judge, Your Honor, of both the regional trial court and the municipal trial court.
Perhaps also to the clerk of court. The clerk
To
of
the
court of
ex
the
officio clerk of court, Your
and the
Honor.
clerk of court of the
I
MPC.
move
That's a
accordingly.
good idea, Mr. Chairman.
Seconded by members
You are
de
voting
Flores,
against?
Calipe.
A comment? Don't remind your comment.
Any objection? The chair hears none. The same is hereby approved.
I move to adjourn, Mr. Chairman.
Session is hereby adjourned.
Ha? Nen, kuya ka ba ya? Ilagan. Ayaw ng typewriter. Tingnan ko, tingnan ko, tingnan ko,